Hi everyone! If you're joining me here for the first time, hi, my name is Heidi, and you are watching the Sunday segment here on Cult Creative that we call Spill the Sea. So here we make space for all things that are creative, community-driven, and conversational. So every week we cover different topics depending on our actual themes for the week, but we will do so in a variety of different formats and styles so we can always keep the show fresh for all of you. So today, as always, I'll be kicking things off with a quick recap of what Cult Creative has been up to the past week. Then I'm gonna go into something just a little bit heavier relating to the toxicity behind the hashtag self-care. And finally, we're gonna end on a lighter note with a simple morning routine that never fails to have me waking up on the right side of the bed. As always, all the timestamps for the 3 different topics will be in the caption, so you can jump right ahead to whichever area interests you best. In line with our theme for this week, which was Recharge, Refresh, and Reboot, our 3 local makers were Stellar Coffee, the handcrafted paper makers, Slumberbugs, and finally the ethically grown vegetable producers, The Vegetable Company, all of whom who are approaching their own respective industries with their own fresh twists. Speaking of which, our 3 featured creative crushes on this hashtag Creative Crush Wednesday were Bae Doucette, Islia Izalan, and Mandy Gyo. And on Thursday, we went in session on IG Live with Adrian Kent of Kanta Studios right here in Kuala Lumpur to discuss creating inspired spaces that tell a story. We wrapped up our weekdays with a final in session on IG Live with Nina Serena from The Art Cine, where we talked about using art to self-reflect and cultivate gratitude. So if you have posted or you will post up creations inspired by our session, do tag us at hashtag CultCreativeKL so that we can see all the different interpretations of our session last Friday. So in case you haven't been keeping up or this is your first time here on Cult Creative KL, welcome by the way. Based on my ensemble, I'm sure you can tell that our entire week this week was dedicated to talking about self-care and the importance of doing so in order to reboot your system and refresh your creative drive. So the concept of self-care itself has actually been around for a minute. Many people believing that it dates back all the way till ancient Greek. However, for many of us today, our concept of self-care has been heavily influenced by hyper-stylized posts as well as content on social media, especially Instagram. And that's not to say that all of this content is always bad. Some content can actually be pretty helpful. However, my second topic that I'm going to be talking about today is very closely related to how the actual hashtag self-care, which is a tag on Instagram that at the time that I'm recording this is currently boasting about 26 million posts, can leave a lot of us feeling distressed and inadequate. When you see these 26 million posts, just a sea of people who are smiling and telling you that if you do this, it will lead to fulfillment, it will lead to happiness, it will lead to motivation, you feel stressed as a result if doing so does not have the same effect for you. And seeing just one post may not have this effect, but like I mentioned, 26 million posts is a lot of content that we are consuming on the daily. And especially currently now where we are stuck at home, we do nothing else but actually browse through our social media. So this is the content that we are consuming in excess these days. And so it can get really overwhelming for a lot of us. It is in our nature to want to see what others are doing and try to emulate things that look like they're working. However, with self-care, we believe that it is extremely important to remember that there is no standard and there is no bar to reach in terms of what constitutes self-care. What you need in this point in time might be just to lie in bed and have a day where you just look up at the ceiling or you just look out the window and you watch leaves fall. And that's completely okay because for a lot of us, sometimes we just haven't had the opportunity to just focus on taking deep breaths and letting our mind wander. Alternatively, there are people out there who are stressing out because they can't quote-unquote relax because a lot of external factors like people, articles, studies are telling you to take all this free time you have right now in order to relax and take your mind off of work. But doing so is resulting in you feeling a lot of anxiousness and building up a lot of this nervous energy. And if you are one of those people who can't just sit around and do nothing peacefully, then that might not be the type of self-care that works for you. If self-care for you is to take on passion projects and work on personal things that you love, then by all means go ahead and do those, and don't feel pressured to conform to somebody else's idea of self-care as opposed to your own. And for others, myself included, I personally enjoy a mix of both. My self-care overall tends to look like this, where maybe I'll have a face mask on and I'll have a chat, or I sometimes read by the window. But there are definitely some days where I will prefer to be more productive and work on passion projects. And on those particular days, I've noticed that in order for me to be productive, it all depends on how I actually treat my mornings. So that will bring me to our third and final topic for today, which is my morning routine to a productive day. Obviously, this will not work the same for everybody. Do take these tips with a grain of salt. Pluck whatever works for you. Try things out. It's all about trial and error. That was definitely how I came to this final routine. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy my simple morning routine to a productive day.
I'll never catch him while I'm this small. Why, curious butterflies.
You mean bread butterflies?
Oh, yes, of course.
And that's all I have for you guys today. So once again, thank you so much for joining me on today's Spill the Sea. What did you think of the segment? What did you enjoy? What do you want to see? Do let me know down in the comments. Also, what does self-care look like to you? Do share and tag us at #CultCreativeKL so that we can try all your tips and tricks for ourselves. Also, speaking of, do check out our page, Cult Creative KL. You can search up at tish.my to keep up with all the exciting content that we'll be coming out with this coming Ramadan. So, hope you have an amazing week ahead, everyone. We'll see you at Cult Creative KL. This is Heidi saying bye.